The whistle blew, and the world exploded into chaos. My stepbrother, drenched in sweat and glory, dropped to one knee right there on the 50-yard line, the stadium lights catching the tears streaming down his face as he pulled out a ring that wasn't for a championship, but for me. "I can't hide anymore," he shouted over the roar of the crowd, his voice cracking like thunder. "Because loving you has made me the man I am, the one who's finally free." In that frozen heartbeat, as the team froze and the whispers turned to gasps, I realized our secret had just rewritten the rules of the game we both lived for. I was 15 when Dad married Elena, bringing her son, Jax, into our lives like a storm rolling off Lake Michigan. We lived in Elmwood, Indiana, a nowhere town where Friday nights meant football under floodlights, and secrets were buried deeper than the cornfields. I was the quiet one, the backup quarterback with a killer arm but a voice that barely rose above a whisper off the field. Jax? He was fire incarnate. Broad-shouldered, quick as a fox, the star running back everyone whispered would go pro. From day one, he sized me up like I was the next play he needed to read. Wary, but with this spark in his hazel eyes that made my stomach flip in ways I didn't understand yet. Our first summer together was brutal. The house creaked under the weight of new routines. Shared bathroom, bunk beds in the attic room. Mom, Elena, insisted would build character. I'd lie awake listening to Jax's breathing, steady and deep, wondering why my heart raced like I just run suicides at practice. School started, and so did the team. Coach Harlan, a grizzled ex-Marine with a whistle that could shatter eardrums, slapped us both on the roster for the Elmwood Eagles. "Blood makes the team," he barked, oblivious to the fact that Jax and I were barely that. But on the field, something clicked. Jax would fake left, and I'd thread the ball right through the defense like we'd been calling plays in the womb. Off-field, awkward silences, stolen glances in the locker room that left me red-faced and bolting for the showers. By sophomore year, the flips in my stomach had names. Confusion, fear, longing. I'd catch myself watching Jax tape his ankles, the way his muscles flexed under the fluorescent lights, and I'd hate myself for it. Elmwood wasn't exactly a rainbow parade. Our town pride was green and gold, not pride flags. The church on Main Street preached fire and brimstone every Sunday, and half the team quoted Bible verses like playbooks. I buried it deep, told myself it was just bromance, the kind you see in those old sports movies. But Jax? He saw through me. One night after a brutal loss to Riverton, we snuck beers from Dad's garage and sat on the roof, stars punching holes in the black sky. "You throw like you're scared of the ball hitting you back," he said, popping the tab on his can. His knee brushed mine, and I swear the air hummed. "I'm not scared," I lied, staring at the horizon where the silos silhouetted against the moon. "Bullshit, Ethan." He turned, his face close enough I could smell the hops on his breath. "You're holding back. On the field. Off it. Like there's this wall you're afraid to climb." My throat tightened. "And you, Mr. Perfect Playbook? What's your wall?" He laughed, but it was hollow, echoing off the shingles. "Mine's taller than yours. But hell, maybe we tear him down together." His hand lingered on my shoulder a beat too long, and in that moment, the world tilted. We didn't kiss. Not then. But something shifted, like the first crack in a dam. That crack widened over practices, road trips, those endless bus rides where we'd share headphones, his playlists full of Springsteen and old-school rap that made my pulse sync with the bass. We'd talk dreams. Me, escaping to Ann Arbor for college ball. Him, the NFL lights of Dallas or LA. But underneath, the unspoken grew heavier. I'd dream of him. Fierce, tender dreams that left me waking in a sweat, grateful for the dark. He started leaving notes in my locker. "Eyes on the prize, QB. You've got this." Simple words, but they burned. Junior year hit like a blindside tackle. The Eagles were contenders, undefeated through October, and Jax was a beast. 1,200 rushing yards by homecoming. I was starting now, my passes slicing the air like knives. The town ate it up, the Stepbro duo. They called us in the Elmwood Gazette. Banners fluttered from porches, and Coach paraded us at pep rallies like trophies. But glory has teeth. Tyler the Tank Hargrove, our linebacker and resident Bible thumper, started side-eyeing us. "Y'all too close," he'd mutter in the huddle, his breath hot with chew. Like, unnatural close. I brushed it off, but Jax didn't. One afternoon in the weight room, Tyler cornered him by the squat rack. "Heard your mom's boy likes looking where he shouldn't," he sneered, nodding at me across the mirrors. Jax's fists clenched, veins popping like rivers on a map. "Say it to my face, tank," Jax growled, stepping in so close I thought fists would fly. Tyler laughed, all teeth and malice. "Just saying, keep it straight, or the team's gonna have issues." That night, Jax showed up at my window, pebble tapping like Romeo on steroids. I cracked it open, heart hammering. What the hell happened? He climbed in, collapsing on my bed, face buried in his hands. "Tyler's poison, Ethan. Spreading shit 'cause he's scared. Scared of us." "Us." The word hung electric. He looked up, eyes raw. "Yeah. I can't pretend anymore. Every time you're out there calling plays I see you, the real you, and it kills me not saying it." His voice broke, and he reached for my hand, tentative as a first down. I froze, then laced my fingers through his, the warmth flooding me like sunlight after rain. We sat like that till dawn, hands clasped, words tumbling out in whispers. Fears, hopes, the ache of wanting what the world said we couldn't have. No kisses yet, just truth, fragile and fierce. But truth is a spark in dry grass. We kept it locked down. No touches in the halls, no lingering looks at lunch. On the field, though, we were unstoppable. November brought playoffs, the air crisp with wood smoke and promise. Our first game against Hamilton High was a bloodbath. Muddy turf, bruised ribs, Jax bulldozing through their line like a freight train. In the fourth quarter, down by 7, I dropped back, scanned, and saw him break free. The ball spiraled true, a 40-yard beauty that he cradled into the end zone. Touchdown. The crowd erupted, but as he spiked it, our eyes locked over the chaos, and I swear I saw forever in that grin. Off-field, the pressure mounted. Dad noticed the late nights, the hushed talks. "You boys okay?" he'd ask over meatloaf, Elena nodding beside him, her worry lines deepening. We lied smoothly, practiced strategy sessions. But Tyler's whispers festered. At the next team meeting, he jokingly passed around a meme. 2 dudes in jerseys. Caption, "When your bro's your type." Laughter rippled, forced and sharp. Jax's jaw ticked. I felt heat crawl up my neck. After, in the parking lot, Jax exploded. "This ends now. We tell Coach. Or Tyler. Someone." "No," I pleaded, grabbing his arm under the sodium lamps. "It'll ruin everything. The team. Us. Us is already ruined if we hide." His voice echoed off the chain link fence. Rain started, fat drops blurring the lines between us. He pulled me close, forehead to forehead, breath mingling. "I love you, Ethan. Not like brothers. Like this." And then he kissed me, soft at first, then desperate, tasting of salt and storm. The world narrowed to that. His lips, my hands fisting his jacket, the rain washing away the fear. We broke apart gasping, laughing through tears. "Okay," I whispered. "We fight." But fighting means wounds. The semifinals loomed, a rematch with Rivorton. Practices intensified, coach drilling us till our lungs burned. Jax and I stole moments, brushing fingers in the film room, coded texts that made me smile through the grind. Tyler watched, his glares sharpening to knives. One evening, as snow dusted the field, he cornered me alone by the bleachers. "Heard you and Jax got a little extracurricular," he drawled, crossing his arms like a barricade. "That true? 'Cause if it is, you're done. Team don't need that fag shit." The word hit like a gut punch. I straightened, channeling every huddle pep talk. "Mind your plays, tank. Worry about your tackles." He lunged, but I sidestepped, years of drills kicking in. "Tell the truth, pretty boy. Or I will, for both of ya." I ran home, chest heaving, burst into the kitchen where Jax was raiding the fridge. Words spilled, Tyler's threat, the venom. Jax's face darkened. A thundercloud. "He what?" He slammed the door, milk sloshing. That's it. We're telling coach tomorrow. Terror clawed me. What if he benches us? Kicks us off. Then we walk. Together. He cupped my face, thumbs brushing my cheeks. You're worth more than any trophy, Ethan. That night, sleep evaded us. We lay side by side, hands linked under the covers, whispering battle plans. Dawn came too soon, gray and unforgiving. At school, the halls buzzed with pre-game hype, posters, chants, the scent of fresh-baked cookies from the booster club. We found Coach in his office, door ajar, reviewing tapes. Coach, Jack started, voice steady as steel. I stood beside him, knees jelly. We gotta talk. About us. He paused, the VCR eyebrow arched. Stepbro thing? Spill it, boys. It's more, I croaked. Jack squeezed my hand behind our backs. Our anchor. Then it poured out. The love, the hiding, Tyler's poison. Coach's face cycled through shock, then softened, lines etching deeper. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, he muttered, rubbing his jaw. In my day, we'd bury this. But times. Hell, they're changing. He leaned forward, eyes piercing. You two play honest on that field? That's all I care about. Off it, your business. But Tyler? That boy's got a mouth bigger than his brain. I'll handle him. Relief crashed over us like a wave. We hugged. Awkward, backslapping, but real. One condition, Coach added, smirking. Win this weekend. For the team. For you. The semifinal was Armageddon. Riverton came hungry, their defense a wall of fury. First half. Tied at 14, my ribs screaming from a sack, Jack's limping from a high hit. Halftime in the locker room, Tyler sulked in the corner, Coach's glare pinning him like a butterfly. Hargrove, Coach barked. You got beef? Take it to the tape, not the team. We're family here. Tyler muttered something, but his fire dimmed. Second half, we ignited. Jack's burst through for 80 yards. Me hitting receivers like lightning strikes. With 2 minutes left, down by 3, 4th and goal. I faked the handoff, rolled out, and lobbed it to Jax in the corner. He leaped, snagged it one-handed, touchdown. The stadium quaked. Post-game, euphoria reigned. Bonfires lit the fields. Beers cracked under stars. Jax and I slipped away to the old oak by the river, the one we'd carved initials into as kids. We did it, he breathed, pulling me close. Our kiss was firework sweet. No rain this time. Just us, unbroken. But betrayal waits in the shadows. Monday, the Gazette hit stands. Eagles soar, but whispers of scandal? An anonymous tip. Tyler's doing. Spilling half-truths. Stepbrothers too cozy? Team divided. The town fractured. Supporters chanting our names. Detractors hissing slurs from pickups. Practice became a minefield. Teammates split. Some loyal, others ghosts. Coach called a meeting. This noise? It's bullshit. We play ball. Period. But the poison spread. Dad confronted us over dinner. Face thunderous. Is it true? You too? Jax met his eyes. Yeah, Dad. It's true. We love each other. Silence stretched, Elena's fork clattering. Then Dad sighed, deflating. Hell, just be safe. And win state. State finals. Against mighty South Bend. Under dome lights brighter than Judgment Day. Pre-game, Tyler approached, hat in hand. I was wrong, man. Scared, stupid. Sorry. His handshake was firm. Forgiveness tasted like turf. The game? Epic. South Bend blitzed, we countered. Jax ran wild, 150 yards, 2 scores. I threw for 280, no picks. Overtime. Tied 28 all. 4th down, clock ticking. Called it deep post to Jax. The snap, the drop, the throw. He streaked, jumped, pulled it down in the end zone. Victory. But as the confetti fell, Jax collapsed. Clutching his knee, face ashen. Torn ACL. Season over. Pro dreams? Shattered. In the ER, under harsh fluorescence, he gripped my hand. Worth it, he whispered. All of it for us. Rehab was hell. Physical therapy in basements. Jax's grunts echoing my own heartbreak. College scouts circled me, but I deferred. Stayed for him. Elmwood healed slow. The scandal faded to legend. The team stronger. Bonds reforged in fire. Tyler became an ally, quoting not scripture, but Springsteen, "No one's alone." Spring bloomed, and so did we. Under that same oak, Jax proposed, not with flash, but a simple band etched with play numbers, 12 and 22. "Forever play," he said. I said yes, tears mixing with pollen. Years later, coaching the Eagles, I watch kids like us, raw, real, learning that love isn't a penalty. It's the ultimate play. Jax limps the sidelines, whistle ready, our rings glinting. We changed the game, all right, and damn if it wasn't the best call we ever made. Looking back, that proposal under the oak wasn't the end. It was the intermission, the breath before the next act in our endless game. Jax's knee mended enough for walks along the Wabash, but the limp stuck like a reminder. Glory costs. I enrolled at Purdue that fall, majoring in sports psych, commuting home weekends to steal time with him. He worked at the auto shop, grease under his nails, dreaming of coaching someday. Letters piled up, scouts sniffing around me for the pros, but my heart was anchored in Elmwood. Our first real test post-victory came at Christmas. Dad and Elena hosted the whole clan. Aunts from Chicago, cousins with kids in tow. The tree twinkled in the bay window, Bing Crosby crooning on the old radio. Jax and I exchanged glances over eggnog, our secret now family lore. But not everyone was on board. Uncle Ray, Dad's brother, the kind of guy who still called it the lifestyle, cornered Jax by the punch bowl. "Boy, you throw away your shot for this." He jerked his head toward me, voice slurred with spiked cider. "Football's for men, not whatever y'all are playing at." Jax's jaw set, that old fire flashing. "Love's the real game, Uncle. And I'm all in." He walked away, but not before I saw the crack, the doubt Uncle Ray's words wedged in. That night, in our old attic room, he paced, shadows dancing from the street lamp. What if he's right? I could have been somebody. I pulled him down, arms around his waist. "You are somebody. To me. To the team. Hell, to this town now." We kissed slow, reaffirming, but sleep came fitful, his words echoing in my dreams. Spring training brought fresh blood. A dozen freshmen, wide-eyed and hungry. Coach put Jax on assistant duty. Film breakdown mostly, but the kids idolized him, clustering like ducklings. I mentored the QBs, barking drills till my voice hoarsed. Tyler, now a senior captain, ran defense with a zeal that bordered on redemption. "For Jax," he'd say, sacking the bags extra hard. The whispers had died, replaced by quiet respect. A rainbow sticker on the locker room door, courtesy of the boosters. But conflict brews in calm waters. Rivorton rematch in April, exhibition but fierce. Jax insisted on suiting up, knee braced like armor. "One snap," he grinned. "For old times." The crowd swelled, old rivals howling. We took the field, me under center, him in the backfield. Hut hike, and he exploded, 5 yards before the whistle. Clean. The stands cheered, but as he jogged off, pain twisted his face. Later, in the trainer's tent, tears he couldn't hide. "It's never gonna be the same, is it?" I held him, rocking like we were kids again. "Same heart, Jax. That's what counts." Summer scorched, and with it, distance. I headed to Purdue camp, 6 weeks of two-a-days in West Lafayette. Jax stayed, flipping burgers at the drive-in to save for our future. Apartment in Bloomington, maybe. Texts flew. "Miss your arm." He'd send with a heart emoji. "Miss your run," I'd reply. But envy crept in, my dorm mates talking girls, parties, the freedom of freshman haze. One night, buzzed on cheap beer, I called him. "Everyone here's so normal," I slurred. "What if this is too hard?" Silence stretched, then his voice, steel warm. "Normal's overrated, QB. We got extraordinary." He was right. Fall semester blurred. Lectures on motivation theory, late-night study sessions where I doodle plays instead of notes. Homecomings were ours. Sneaking into the stands, his hand in mine under the blanket of anonymity. But betrayal's shadow loomed. Tyler, of all people, texted a warning. Heads up, someone's digging. Old teammate from Riverton, jealous type. Talking to press about the Stepbro scandal. My blood iced. Who? We traced it to Brody Klein, Riverton's ex-linebacker, bitter over our playoff upset. He'd shopped the story to Indy Star. Elmwood's gay quarterback? Talent or distraction? It dropped mid-season. Front page of the sports section. Reporters swarmed practices. Mics thrust like spears. Coach stonewalled. We talk football here. Town split again. Protests at the gates. Adam and Eve. Not Adam and Steve signs clashing with love wins counters from the college kids. Jax fielded calls from his shop boss. Keep your personal shit off my floor. I dodged dorm whispers. Teammates at Purdue eyeing me sideways. The climax hit Thanksgiving. Purdue versus Indiana. The big rivalry. I started first true college game. Jax drove down. Ticket clutched like a talisman. The stadium pulsed, 60,000 strong. Hoosier gold clashing with Boilermaker black. Pre-game, nerves jangled. I spotted him in the family section, waving a foam finger, grin defiant. First quarter. I marched us downfield, crisp passes carving their secondary. Touchdown, Jax whooping loudest. But second quarter, disaster. Blindside blitz, helmet to ribs. I hit turf, wind gone, vision spotting. Carted off, the crowd's roar muffled to a buzz. In the locker room, docs poked. Cracked rib, bruised lung. Season over. Jax burst in, face pale. Ethan. I waved him off, pain lancing. Just stay. He did, through the ambulance ride, the hospital haze of morphine dreams. Waking to his vigil, Elena on the other chair. Dad pacing the hall. You scared us? Jax murmured, fingers tracing my fore. That night, alone, truth spilled. This game's taking too much from us. He nodded, eyes glistening. Then we rewrite the rules. No more hiding behind pads. Winter break, we plotted escape. Bloomington apartment, me finishing online, him coaching JV at a feeder school. But first, confrontation. We drove to Riverton, unannounced. Brody's trailer on the edge of town. Christmas lights frayed. He answered shirtless, beer in hand, surprise twisting to sneer. You ruined us? I said, Jax flanking me like a guard. He laughed. Truth hurts, fairy boys. Jax stepped up. Truth? You're the one peddling lies, 'cause you couldn't tackle worth shit. No fists, just words, sharp as turf burns. Brody deflated, mumbling apologies. The fight draining like air from a ball. We left him there, a footnote. New Year dawned soft, snow blanketing Elmwood like forgiveness. We moved in February. Tiny place above a bookstore, walls echoing with laughter. Jax hung our championship photo, jerseys crossed like swords. Nights were ours. Cooking spaghetti, debating plays over wine. His head on my lap as I read psych journals aloud. Spring brought green shoots. I guest coached at Purdue clinics, sharing stories of resilience. Jax's JV kids thrived, a mini Eagles dynasty budding. Tyler visited once, fresh from enlistment papers. You two? Heroes to me. We hugged it out, brothers in arms. Yet emotions tide ebbs. One rainy April, Jax confessed over coffee. Some days, I miss running, the rush. I took his hand. Then run with me, metaphorically. We did jogs along the monorail tracks, slow but steady. Romance deepened in quiet. Anniversaries with picnics, love notes in lunch bags. Humanistic threads wove in, volunteering at the rec center, mentoring queer kids from the sticks, showing them the field was wide open. Summer solstice, we renewed vows under Bloomington's courthouse oak. Not legal yet, but binding. Fireflies danced as witnesses, his kiss sealing promises. Changed the game, he whispered. And we had. Forever. College graduation snuck up like a stealth play. Caps and gowns in Rossade Stadium, my diploma crisp in hand, Jax beaming from the bleachers in his best button-down. We'd built a rhythm in Bloomington. Mornings with coffee and crosswords. Evenings walking the limestone paths where IU's clock tower chimed our soundtrack. But rhythm shifts. Life's no straight line run. Postgrad, offers flooded. assistant coaching gigs at mid-majors, analyst roles in the pros. I chased stability, a spot at Butler University, breaking down film for their hoops program, a nod to my psych roots. Jax? He stayed local, head coach for Bloomington South's freshman squad. Kids need me, he'd say, but I heard the ache, the what-ifs of his stalled pro path. Our first big fight brewed over that. August heat wave, AC sputtering in our one-bed. I'd landed the Butler job. Celebration dinner at the Mexican joint on Kirkwood, margaritas flowing. Back home, buzzed and bold, I broached it. Move with me? Indy's just an hour, commute's cake. His fork paused mid-bite. And leave my team? The kids who look at me like I'm God. God's commute, Jax. I grinned, but it fell flat. He pushed his plate away. Easy for you. You're the golden arm, Ethan. Scouts still call. Me? I'm the has-been with a hitch. The words landed like a fumble. That's not. Isn't it? He stood, chair scraping. You get to chase dreams. I get to watch. Door slammed. He stormed to the balcony, city lights mocking us. I followed, rain starting to patter. We're a team, remember? Calls, plays, we decide together. He turned, eyes stormy. Your play, QB. Always has been. Silence stretched, thunder rumbling distant. I reached for him. He leaned in, but tension hummed. We made up in bed. Apologies whispered, bodies aligning like perfect routes, but the seed sprouted doubt. Indy suited me. Skyline views from my office, film reels spinning tales of upsets and underdogs. Jax visited weekends, our apartment a revolving door of duffels and diner takeout. But distance gnaws. October, Butler's home opener. I texted hype. Front row for you? No reply. Game night, scanning the crowd, no Jax. Post-win voicemail. Knee flared. Rain check. Panic spiked. Drove down at dawn. Found him icing in sweats, JV playbook splayed. You bailed. Couldn't risk it. Lie, he winced less in rain. Bullshit. I sat, forcing eye contact. Talk. He sighed, deflating. Saw your email. NFL analyst internship, LA. Dream gig. Guilt twisted. I turned it down. For us. Don't. His voice cracked. Go. Be the star. I am the star with you. Tears pricked. We clung, rain lashing windows like accusations. Betrayal's blade came sly. November, Butler banquet, boosters, suits, schmoozing. I networked, charm dialed up, when a hand clapped my shoulder. Brody Klein, Riverton's ghost, now a recruiting scout for Notre Dame. Ethan, water under the bridge. I stiffened. Brody. He grinned, all teeth. Heard Jax is coaching Pee-wees. Tough break. Sip of scotch. You know, I got stories. That scandal? Gold for clicks. And less. Blackmail stench. Spit it. Drop my name for ND referrals. Or I shop the full tea. Stepbros boning in the locker room. Vulgar, vicious. Rage boiled. You touch us, I bury you. Walked away but poison seeped. Told Jax that night, phone trembling. Brody's at it again. His laugh was bitter. Figures. Guy's a leech. We fight smart, I said. Recorded the convo subtle, phone in pocket at the next booster mixer. Brody bit, spilling slime on tape. Sent it anonymous to his boss and decompliance. Fallout swift. Brody sidelined, whispers of ethics probes. Victory tasted ash. Jax, hearing details, withdrew. You handled it. Like always. What's that mean? You're the fixer. I'm the fixed. He turned away, shoulders slumped. Winter gripped Indy. Gray skies mirroring moods. Holidays at Elena's, festive facade cracking. Dad pulled me aside by the tree. Jax seems off. You boys good. Turf wars, I muttered. Truth. Resentment festered, his injury a ghost haunting throes. Climax brewed in March Madness. Butler danced to Sweet 16. I traveled, Jax stayed for state playoffs. Text sparse. Good luck. Win one. Then, radio silence mid-tournament. Post-win against Gonzaga, elation soured, no call. Voicemail empty. Drove home frantic. burst into our place. Empty closets. Note on the fridge. Ethan, needs space to run my own plays. Back soon. Love, Jay. Heart gutted. Searched. His truck at the old Elmwood field. Silhouette under goalposts, snow dusting turf. I approached, boots crunching. Running away? He startled. Thinking. About us. Me. Say it. I feel. Small. Next to you. Voice raw. Like I'm holding you back. No, wind howled. Yes. Let me catch up. He stood, limping toward me. Embrace fierce, sobs mingling. I love you, but I gotta love me first. We parted ambiguous, me to final for him to therapy, a sports psych I'd recommended. Games blurred. Buzzer beaters, confetti, but hollow without his voice in my ear. Final loss to Duke. Poetic, fallen Irish, mirrored my ache. April thawed. Jax returned, leaner, lighter. Sessions helped. Injuries not my identity. Pride swelled. Mine neither. We're the story. Romance reignited slow. Dates at the canal, ice cream under willows. He started a podcast, Gridiron Hearts, sharing tales of resilience, queerness in sports. Episodes viral, invites to panels. I guested first. My stepbrother taught me victories in vulnerability. Summer solstice again. Anniversary hike in Brown County, hills rolling like waves. At the summit, sunset gilding leaves, he knelt. Second proposal. No limps, no doubts. Marry me, Ethan. Yes. Rings exchanged, simple gold. Engraved, team forever. Fall brought balance, him podcasting from home, me commuting less. We hosted team barbecues, Jax grilling, me tossing the pigskin. Tyler, home on leave, toasted. To plays that change everything. Humanism bloomed, mentoring a queer athlete from Butler, helping him come out to his squad. You gave me the huddle, he said, echoed our own. Yet emotion's depth demands depth. One night, storm raging, Jax confessed, scared I'll break again. I held him. Then we tape up. Together. And we did, through tempests, touchdowns, the quiet winds of dawn. Marriage planning turned our apartment into a war room. Save the dates pinned to corkboards, playlists for the reception looping Bon Jovi and Beyoncé. We aimed small. Backyard affair at Elena's, tents if rain, wildflowers tying back to that first oak kiss. But life's no scripted rom-com. Conflicts cascade. First snag, venues. Elmwood's church balked. Policy on. Unions. Dad, ever the fixer, leaned on the VFW hall. Boys earned it on that field. Secured, but whispers rippled. Old teammates divided. RSVPs trickling slow. Jax obsessed over vows, scribbling on napkins. You called my number when no one else would. Poetic. Raw. I countered with psych lingo. Our attachment secure. Avoidant no more. Laughter bridged gaps, but undercurrents swirled. His podcast hit a milestone. 10K downloads, but trolls swarmed, faking it for fame. He deleted episodes, doubt creeping. You okay? I asked one dawn, coffee steaming. Imposter, he muttered. Preaching strength I don't feel. We pivoted, joint therapy, sessions in a sunlit office overlooking the White River. Resentment's a sack you don't see coming, our counselor said. Unpacked it, my success. His shadow. Homework. Weekly plays. Date nights. No shop talk. Romance flourished in fragments. Stolen weekends at Lake Monroe. Fishing poles idle as we talked futures. Kids. Adoption, maybe a family of our own, passes and tackles taught in backyards. 2 dads. One hell of a huddle, Jax quipped. But betrayal's encore arrived uninvited. June, 2 months out, a package. Manila envelope, no return. Inside, photos, us kissing by the river, time-stamped last summer. Stalker grainy, but angles intimate. Note, stop the show or these go viral. A fan. Stomach dropped. Jax paled. Who? Traced the postmark. Bloomington. Hired a PI on a whim. Ex-cop from Indy's force. Gruff but thorough. Days blurred. Wedding checklists abandoned. Sleep fractured. PI called. Your ghost? ex-assistant coach from Jax's JV days. Guy named Reese, axed for inappropriate chats. Jealous type, fixated. Reese Harlan, no relation to coach, but echo enough. We'd fired him last year after complaints. Lingering touches, boundary blur. Now revenge porn light. Confrontation. PI staked his dive bar haunt, we followed. Dim lights, stale peanuts. Reese hunched at the corner, nursing a pint. Jax approached me back up. Why? He sneered, eyes bloodshot. You two parading it, while I get nothing. Love's not a parade, Jax said, voice even. It's private. Yours was creepy. Reese lunged. Bar broke it up, but not before Jax's knee buckled. Old injury flaring. Cops came. Charges. Harassment. Threats. Reese folded, spilling tears. Just wanted in. Pity mixed with fury. We pressed charges light, restraining order, counseling mandate. Human, even assholes, Jax said later, icing his leg. But boundaries win. Wedding week dawned golden. Elmwood buzzed. Banners strung Main Street. Eagles forever with rainbow twists. Rehearsal dinner at the diner. Tyler's toasts laid. From stepbros to soulmates. Touchdown. Ceremony day. July 4th. Fireworks bonus. Backyard bloomed. Chairs in rows. Elena's roses framing the arch Jax built himself. I waited at the aisle's end, heart thumping like pre-snap. Music swelled, Springsteen's Thunder Road. Our anthem. Jax appeared, suit tailored sharp, limp disguised in stride. Elena on his arm, dabbing eyes. Vows exchanged, rings sliding home. In mud and glory, he said. I choose you. Kiss sealed it, crowd whooping, Tyler firing blanks from a starter pistol. Reception. Bonfire crackling, line dances, cake smeared like war paint. Dad pulled us aside. Proud sons. Changed more than the game. Honeymoon. Road trip Route 66. Chevy rented. Top down. Stops at diners, motels with neon buzz. Albuquerque sunsets, Grand Canyon echoes. Nights tangled in sheets, whispers of eternity. This is the pro league, Jax joked. Us against the world. Back to reality, emotions underbelly surfaced. Anniversary 1. Podcast collab, me analyzing love as motivation. Listeners flooded, stories of hidden hearts in heartland towns. But Jax hit a wall. Knee surgery looming, revision to chase coaching certs. Pre-op jitters. Hospital gown stark, his hand clammy in mine. What if it fails? Won't. I kissed his knuckles. We've scripted this win. Recovery was grind, crutches clacking, PT sessions I drove. He snapped once. Hate being cargo. Freight trains rebuild stronger. I countered. Laughter returned. Slow. Fall leaves turned. We adopted a rescue mutt. Rusty, all wag and no playbook. Walks became rituals, leashes linking us. Tyler shipped care packages from Basic. Camo socks, jerky. For the vets, he wrote. Climax Redux. National Coaching Conference. Chicago. Jax presented Queer Athletes. From closet to end zone. Standing ovation, but post-panel, a detractor cornered. Ex-NFL exec. Suit starched. Tokenism. Sports ain't for that. Jax held firm. Sports for everyone who bleeds for it. I swelled. My man, unbreakable. Winter solstice, surgery scars fading, we hosted solstice stories. Bonfire invite for locals, sharing tales. A teen came out there, voice quivering. You gave me the call. Hug exchanged. Humanism's quiet thunder. Yet depth demands tears. One blizzard night. Power out. Candles flickering. Jax broke. Some days, I miss the rush. The crowd's roar. I pulled him close. Our roar's louder. Listen. And in the hush, we heard it. Hearts sinking. Forever's cadence. 5 years married, and the scoreboard read, resilient. We traded the apartment for a craftsman in Zionsville. Suburban slice with a yard for rusty zoom eyes and a shed Jax converted to war room. Whiteboards scrawled with life plays. I climbed to associate head coach at Butler, psych degree fueling team building seminars that packed rooms. Jax's podcast evolved, Gridiron Grace, now with sponsors, a Patreon of supporters sharing their fields of dreams. But arcs circle back. Conflict stirred in spring rains. Purdue reunion, my alma mater hosting a Legends game. Alums versus varsities. Jax got the nod as running back coach for the alums. I quarterbacked. Nostalgia thick as Hoosier humidity. Pre-game barbecue. Old teammates slapped backs. Stepbro show still drawing crowds? Laughter easy, but Tyler, now Sergeant Hargrove, buzz cut sharp, pulled Jax aside. Heard scuttlebutt. Old coach Harlan retiring. Elmwood head spot open. Your name's floating. Jax's eyes lit. For real. Go for it. Town needs its hero. Drive home buzzed with it. Head coach? Elmwood Eagles. I grinned. Your destiny, babe. But doubt nipped. Knee holds? Kids respect a gimp coach. Respect heart. Kiss punctuated. Application sent. Interviews dragged summer. Meanwhile, betrayals whisper. Anonymous email to the school board. Jax's past. Scandal king. Unfit. Attached. Doctored pics. Reese's old poison recycled. Board called. Clarify. Jax met them in the gym, me in tow. Past's prologue. We've owned it. Changed lives with it. They bought it. Hired him August 1st. Town erupted. Parade down Main, banners reborn. First season magic. Jax's schemes innovative. Option plays blending old school grit with psych tricks I'd fed him. Undefeated October. Stands packed with rainbow cheers. But climax crashed week 9. Riverton rivalry, under lights like judgment. Pre-game huddle. Jax's voice steel. Play for love. The kind that lifts. We led 21-10 half. Second half. Storm hit. Lightning delays. Turf slick as betrayal. Riverton's QB, Brody's nephew. Sacked Jax on the sideline. Coach, not player, knee twisting wrong. Whistles blew. Medics swarmed. R again. Full tear. Pins this time. Season paused. But team rallied. Assistants stepping up. Kids dedicating wins to Coach J. Hospital vigil. His hand in mine, monitors beeping. Not again. Again, but better. Tears fell. You built this. They'll carry it. He did bedside pep talks via Zoom. Play calls texted. State berth clinched without him on turf. Finals night. Jax wheeled to the 50, brace gleaming. Halftime, he addressed. This win's ours, broken or whole. Overtime thriller, we prevailed, 34-31. Trophy hoist, Jax center, tears carving paths. Postgame, press scrum. How's it feel, coach? Like love winning. Glanced at me. Every time. Off-season, rehab redux, but laced with grace. Physical therapy with a twist. Group sessions for injured athletes, Jax leading. Pain's a teacher, he'd say. Podcast specials. Scars and scores. Emotion-crested summer. Adoption approved. Little Ben, 5 freckles and fire. Foster kid with a swing that rivaled mine. Homecoming chaotic. First T-ball game, Jax pitching soft tosses, me catching. Team of 3, Ben giggled. Humanism's harvest. Elmwood's Eagles Out initiative, LGBTQ plus ally training for schools. Us as faces. Visits to Chicago Pride, panels in D.C. Tyler, discharged honorably, joined as defensive coordinator. Full circle boys. Yet depth's price. Anniversaries mark milestones and men's. 10th year under that oak, now gnarled guardian, we renewed. Ben, flower boy, scattering petals. Vows updated, through fumbles and fields. Kissing him, crowd fading. I whispered, surprised everyone. Changed everything. He grinned. Best play ever. And in Elmwood's heartland hum, corn whispering, stars winking, we played on. Forever altered. Forever us. The game, just the stage. Love's the score that endures.